Want to go back to the floor of the RNC with NewsNation correspondent Joe Khalil with Ohio's Governor Mike DeWine.
Yeah, Chris, thank you. Governor DeWine, so you just saw J.D. Vance give that speech. Your first thoughts today coming out of it?
Well, I think the American people who really are just now being introduced to J.D. Vance saw what we know in Ohio. This is him. I think people can relate to him. He is someone whose life experiences, I think, have clearly shaped him. Very bright, very articulate. You're going to continue to see that, throughout the campaign. So I think it's a good first introduction. Like I've said, what you see is what you get from J.D. Vance.
We knew this coming in, and a lot of that speech was his biography. I'm wondering how you think that is going to translate into policy. Now, as vice president, potentially you don't set policy, but you can certainly impact it, right, the direction of the administration. How do you think that's going to impact a potential second Trump administration?
Well, and it's a subject near and dear to my heart. The number of people we're losing in Ohio still today, overdose of drugs, 80% of this at least is from fentanyl. And it's just hard to believe that we can't do a better job than we're doing in stopping the fentanyl from coming up from Mexico. A lot of it's coming in, precursor drugs, et cetera, coming in from China, then into Mexico, then up across the border. We got to do better. We can do better. I think he'll be a strong advocate in the White House to do a lot better in this area.
I cover Capitol Hill. I have heard some Republican concerns. He's got this isolationist streak, right? Comes to NATO or Ukraine, things like that. He addressed it today. He said the differences in our own party actually make us stronger, not weaker. We debate ideas. What did you make of that? And do you have fears maybe about some of his policy?
Well, I was glad he said that. I think it's absolutely true. Look, we're a big party. We have a big tent. That happens when you have a country that has two political parties. They have to cover a big area. And I think, he says we welcome that. And so I think that's great. I disagree, for example, with where J.D. is in regard to aid to Ukraine. I think we have to aid Ukraine. I think it's in our national interest to do it. I think NATO is still very, very important for us. These are just differences that we're gonna have. There's a significant number of members of the House and Senate Republicans who, disagree with his position on that too. We got many who do agree with him. But I think that was a good signal. Look, we're one big party, and let's at least go win an election first.
I know the RNC has made an effort, and the Trump campaign has made an effort to present unity as the overarching theme of this convention so far. Have you felt that? And I know your own background personally, you're someone who has had your disagreements with Donald Trump himself and with the sort of Trump wing of the party. Have you felt it's been more united than over the last 2 or 3 years?
Yeah, really. The feeling here is an amazing unity. I think last night really showed that. Nikki Haley came in here and got a very nice reception, good reception. She wouldn't have been here unless Donald Trump wanted her here. And I think kudos to him, but also for her for coming. And you saw that with other people who ran against Donald Trump. So coming together, I think that's very important. And we're coming out of here, we'll come out of here tomorrow night, a very unified party.
Governor, before I send it back over to the big shots at the desk, is there anything else that you want to add just for everyone watching at home?
No. Ohio's very proud of its native son, and he's going to do great things.
And as a Michigander, I appreciated he gave us a little shout-out, too.
He gave you a good shout-out. He did. Yeah, he knows Michigan's important.
That was smart Midwestern politics.
Absolutely.
Governor, thank you so much for joining us. All right, guys, we'll send it back over to you.
All right, thank you very much. Always good to see Governor DeWine. It's interesting, this idea that, wow, this